Welcome to our 7th community gathering. Here it's pretty hot today, so Italy is becoming, is definitely in the summer. So thank you all for joining, and thank you for being part of this journey. It's been very intense time, as you can imagine. We're all experiencing lots of changes in the ecosystem of the crypto space. We've seen a sharp decrease in all of the cryptocurrencies, regulatory uncertainty, and there's been lots of movement that make all the investors worry, and everyone that is in some ways attached to the crypto market, they start worrying. So on our side, we've been super busy with the things that we discussed already, and we've been talking about, which are all of the developments both on the technical side and on the business side, and also general market has been moving quite a lot, because one of the most important thing is, and the reason why I started my conversation today with this news from the general market, that it's been tumbling, as they say, but Bitcoin tumbling to $30,000. It would have been a dream last year. So it's all relative to what we've experienced this year. So in general, I think we could talk about a market that is correcting over the past month. In terms of what's been happening on Efforce and on the climate market, it's been quite intense and also quite an important moment, because we've seen things that we knew were in the pipeline of general government movements, but they're becoming much more of a reality now. So we've seen the past week the launch of Chinese carbon market, which is a very, very important move, because China is one of the largest emitters in terms of greenhouse gases in the world, and that is a major sign, because they decided, and this is something that has been discussed already in previous discussions. They decided to become completely carbon neutral by 2060. And in order to achieve that, they launched the emission trading system, the emission trading scheme, as a unified market in China, and already on the first day it was an incredible success in terms of volume. But also one important thing that was said by the officials of the Chinese market, of the Chinese government, is the fact that in order to decarbonize and achieve the goals, we have to, China has to work on multiple fronts. So it's not just carbon emissions and the carbon scheme, but it's also the reduction of emissions. It's renewables. It's carbon sequestration. And one of the most important things that needs to be pointed out is the fact that a third very important pillar to carbon reduction is effectively energy efficiency. And so energy efficiency is going to be more and more at the forefront of the discussions in the coming months, in the coming years. So creating an ecosystem around this necessity, it's super important, and it's key to transform the world in the way that we are envisioning. So in order to do that, we have been studying what is the best approach and what is the best product for this ecosystem, and how Efforce can play a role in the grand scheme of things. So Europe is moving towards decarbonization, China is moving towards decarbonization, everyone is talking about decarbonization, and the three main approaches that should be considered are, for sure, the carbon sequestration that could be done through reforestation, for example, and we've seen lots of efforts of people and companies trying to plant more trees so that there could be more sequestration from the atmosphere. Then there is, for sure, production of through renewables, which allows to produce in a cleaner way. And then the third and most important one is definitely the energy efficiency portion. So Efforce is is a turning point in history, we could say, because we're moving general industry towards a new way of consuming their energy and also reducing their carbon footprint on the global environment. So this is something that we've been brainstorming on. We've been talking with different advisors across different industries, and yeah. So this is mainly what we've been working on. So the platform on our side, this is one of the core things that we've been building over the past few months. Has been transforming from the first iteration, which was a very I would say centralized proof of concept of what we want to do in terms of contributions, why we need contribution from the general public so that we can break barriers and we can open up to as many people as possible. And then also now we're integrating more of a crypto side and crypto play, which is the staking, which everyone has been asking for, and this is something that is going to go live, in the next I would say few months. I don't want to give a definite date because otherwise I get killed. But in general, I would say the team on the tech side has been working relentlessly on the staking side and on the new features. We have something coming up which is going to be pretty major, and it's not going. We don't want to overpromise, but it has to do with one of the major concerns about the energy consumption of general blockchains. So this is something that is quite important in our business pipeline. And one of the things that's also important to stress is the market. So we want to build a marketplace that will allow every participant to buy and sell easily the Megawatt-hours. So we haven't given enough time to the function of the Megawatt-hours, not just the WOZX into the ecosystem, so not the staking, not the contribution, but the Megawatt-hours itself. So one of the things that I do want to do today, in order to understand the grand scheme of things and where we're going and why we're framing everything into the general market of the carbon emissions and the geopolitical shifts that are happening, is the function of the Megawatt-hours. We said multiple times that it's a way to commoditize energy saved. So we want to take, if you are an energy intensive company in China, for example, and you need to compensate in some ways your consumption of energy, you are now able to buy from the market savings generated in a project in France. And this becomes borderless. This is something that is not tied to a geography. It's not tied to any sort of player or centralized body in any government, but it's going to be a peer-to-peer exchange of megawatt-hour backed credits. So this is a major shift, because if you think about it, all of the energy intensive companies around the world need to compensate, need to offset their footprint in terms of energy. And so this is going to become, a massive, gigantic opportunity. So we are at the right time in the right place, and definitely the fact that the crypto market is shifting, it's going to give us some headaches in terms of community, in terms of where we, how fast we can deliver things and how fast we do things. But it is a very important moment, because the industrial clients that we're onboarding, they are already shifting in their mindset, which is a very, very important thing. So we talked about DAO, we talked about luxury car manufacturer in Italy, which we haven't yet announced the name, because we have been in the middle of negotiation, not about disclosing the brand, because we are working with the brand. It's already signed. We're doing already the implementation of the project, but it's more for let's do marketing together, because otherwise would be just Efforce doing marketing on that opportunity, which is a lost opportunity. So we are negotiating with the counterpart regarding the co-marketing events. So this is a very important point. In terms of cognitive fog, people are saying hi. So if you want to ask questions, yes, please go on the live section of YouTube and ask questions. I'm sorry if in the meantime I'm also sweating, but it's really hot today. Going back to the points that we were addressing is how are we with the megawatts going to transform this credit instrument that we're creating, and how are we going to transform the industry by building this railways? And it's super important. So this is the ecosystem that we want to build. This is the marketplace that we want to build. All of these stakeholders that we are engaging are people that are companies and people that are very energy intensive, and they're gigantic in size. So the discussions with them are quite slow in some ways, and we're trying to go through them and all of the issues and all of the questions as fast as we possibly can, because we want to streamline the process, as we said many times, in order to go much faster when the product release is out. So in conjunction with the release of the names of some of these brands, we're going to release the new platform. And the new platform is going to have some key features besides the staking, which are definitely the product page. So the product page is going to be important because people will be, and contributors all across the world, they will be able to choose what to contribute on. So it's not going to be, I would say, one single pool, but it can be multiple pools. It could be, timed pools. So you have starting from day 0 to day 5, you have this pool, and you have this much time to contribute, and so on and so forth. And then the other thing is in the project page, you're going to be able to see the direct listings. So the single projects that are going to be listing on our platform. So that's okay. Oh, meantime, we have some questions. So let me. We have Bossman. Hi, Bossman. Hi, everyone. By the way, any chance of being mentioned during the meeting between Elon and Jack? Okay. They will be certainly talk about sustainability and probably energy efficiency. Well, I mean, we cannot control what other people say in other events. I mean, but definitely Efforce is working a lot. As you can see, we started activating our marketing team. And by the way, if you see things that you would like to experience in terms of marketing, in terms of outreach, in terms of communication that we're not doing yet properly, we advise and we suggest the community to give their as much advice as possible. So one thing that we've been doing is first of all, going more steady and more how would you say, not constant. The word is sleeping. So going much more direct in terms of communication. We've been talking with different parties, and we've been breaking down some of the key concepts and some of the key terms, and that's something that we want to do recurrently. So we've been very careful on that. One of the things that we also been working on is the creation of material that is going to be posted on our social media, so you'll be able to see the faces of the company. So it's not only my face, but it's more and more people. You can see the CEO, you can see the business unit, you can see all of the units in the group, the trading, everyone that has to do with Ether, everyone that has to do with Efforce and what we do every day. So we spend a lot of time in the office with our marketing team, and we've been collecting a lot of material so that you can feel closer to us. So yeah, in terms of can Efforce team have interviews with known influencers for brand awareness? We definitely can. So one of the things that we've been actually working on with the marketing as well is the idea of creating some formats in which we have more communication with KOLs and with various partners that are in the space. So definitely we would like to see a lot more interaction from the community as well. So if you have ideas, or if you want to talk to someone in particular, at least we can have some ideas, and we know which would be a good pipeline, I would say, of interviews. We have our internal pipeline, but definitely we're open to some discussion. Actually, one community member suggested us to speak with some interviewers as well from Brazil or other parts of the world. So I took that note, and I much appreciate it. I think the name was Fabian. So he was talking about talking with an interviewer in Brazil. So that's something that we take on actively. We do keep a pipeline of AMAs and possible interviews and similar activities, because we're putting everything into pipeline. But in terms of marketing, in terms of communication, in terms of the things that we can do, you can easily imagine that if we funnel people towards Efforce, we need to have a final outcome or a final place where they can do something with the WOZX. So until we have the full release of the platform, which is very close, it's very difficult also for us to manage the active expectations and what we can say in terms of marketing. So we're a bit in a tough spot as well on the communication side. So lots of pressure that we need to deal with daily, but it's our job. So we're happy to be with you. We're happy to see all of these comments. We're happy to see the community getting more and more engaged. Our follower base is going up, not so much on Telegram, but more on Twitter. We've seen more engagement, more responses, more followers, and this is very important. As soon as we start doing more PR and more press releases, together with the launch of the platform, the launch of the projects, and in conjunction with this macroeconomic trend of decarbonization that we've been talking about, I think that Efforce has a bright future, and it's going to be shining a lot. So in terms of when we can give you dates about the releases of the information about the client pipeline, which Jacopo Visetti has been working on together with Sergio and the business unit, or where the platform is going to go out with Jacopo Vanetti and the tech unit. Those are things that unfortunately I cannot reveal because we don't have set timeline yet. But what I can say is that definitely before we get too much into Q3, we have the releases, and we have more information coming out and more product, and for sure by the end of the year, Efforce is going to look a lot different from what it is today. So all of the patients that you've been having, all of the I would say also back and forth that we've been having, all of the discussions about what works, what doesn't work, what's your opinion. This is all going to go into one big bucket of things that we're taking actions on. So thank you all for being part of this. I'm gonna read a couple of questions. BitThumb is concerned about delisting due to trading volume. I mean, BitThumb, exchanges do, especially in Korea right now. Korea is doing a lot of work in terms. The regulator is doing a lot of clamping down on exchanges, and from September onwards, we're gonna see a lot, I think, of regulation on that market. So we don't know specifically what's going to be the exchange policy, but we can say that we're going to move a lot into the Korean market in terms of more awareness, more action, more activity. We've engaged with some local agencies as well to help us on the ground, to get the news and the information that we have, and also do more events locally, because that is going to allow the general awareness of the market, the general feeling of the market to increase, and to get the trading going. But we're not too focused on the trading volume per se. We don't want to create actions for the trading volume, but we want to create actions for people to understand what we're doing actually in terms of the macro scene and the macro market. And this is the most important thing for us. Solar panels or other means, I don't know what that means, Raz, so please, what will be actually save energy. No, saving energy is different from producing energy. This is something that we say all the time. So production of energy is different from and solar panels go into the bucket of energy production. So that's a different type of technology, I would say. In terms of updates, I've definitely covered most of the things that are on our pipeline today. We don't have any breaking news. It was more of a face-to-face catch-up with the community. It's good that you're here. I think for the next, I would say the next two gatherings, we would have a lot more to share with you. And so thank you for Barbara D'Urso. Thank you so much for joining. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, even though in this heat I'm literally melting. So thank you so much for joining, and we hope to see you in our communities. Please do come here, ask questions, leave your feedback in terms of who you would like to see more on the interviews, what type of profiles, what type of people, which media would you like us to focus on in terms of PR when we do the press releases. We haven't done the press releases yet, but if you have some preferences on those sides. And definitely also in terms of what we could do on the marketing side, on the communication side, because those are the things that I personally, as Andrea, I can control. All the other things are things that are away from my personal direct control. So those are things that I have to wait for the other shareholders to give me approval and allow me to discuss about certain points. So if there are things that you would like to see from the marketing side and we haven't yet thought about it in terms of formats, in terms of things that we could do, please feel free to reach out, to send us emails, to even write in the Telegram group. And in the meantime, I hope that you're all having a good summer for those who are in the summer, and for those who are in the winter, I hope it's not too cold. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next live. Thank you very much.